Good morning, world.
Good morning. Well, here we are with another review. And for those of you who have been watching us for a while, we've been doing the Ryan Upchurch rabbit hole, and we've been going deep into it. But thanks to a lot of you have been strongly suggesting that we look at Ryan Upchurch's apology video. And here's a comment from Jacob who says, I get what you're saying about the flag, of course. I recommend watching an Upchurch video if you're going to continue with this journey. It's called My Apology or I'm Sorry. Spoilers, he isn't apologizing. He is talking about this video and the flag and what it represents and means to him. I highly recommend it for some clarity as far as Upchurch is concerned. Hashtag Creek Squad. And as always, love the reviews, not the reactions. All right, you guys, stay tuned as we're going to look at the apology. I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian, and this is Cedric and Brian. All right, guys, before we get to the apology, not apology video, a word from our sponsor. Are you prepared?
Like Brian says, are you prepared? Do you have enough food, water, and other essentials to get you through tough times? If not, check out My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's #1 preparedness company, and they've served millions of American families just like yours. Right now, you can save 25% off their popular 4-week emergency food kit, which will keep you well fed for 4 weeks worth of breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, and snacks, totaling over 2,000 calories a day. This food stays fresh for up to 25 years in proper storage, so it will be there when you need it. In fact, you may need it a lot sooner than that.
So don't wait. Go to www.preparewithcedricandbrian.com. That's www.preparewithcedricandbrian.com.
And we are not apologizing for the stale-ass commercial we've played over and over again.
That's right. So get out there and buy it, man. Come on. Support us.
All right. So our man Ryan Upchurch is apologizing for... he's apologizing for the use of the Confederate flag, right?
Well... You'll see. I heard it's not really an apology, but it's if you didn't see it, we did a video with him and Luke
Combs
called Outlaw, or Can I get an outlaw?
Can I get an outlaw?
No, it's Can I get a outlaw?
Oh, yes.
Anyway, so this is a reaction, I guess, to the people. I know we're about a year behind, but we're down this rabbit hole. So here we go. Kind of a long video, so we're going to get it started.
You thought this was an apology video. That's cute. Listen, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or be that egotistical asshole, but am I the only country singer out here right now that's getting Billboard charting spots that just says what I want to, that doesn't apologize for everything and try to be something I'm not and have a bunch of team members type up this shit and be like, oh, you have to say this, please, because we gotta make sure they know you're not racist. Am I the only one out here who has these that just goes with my gut and listens to myself instead of 10 other fucking people? For real. So I woke up this morning with a bunch of text with links attached to them where another country singer is saying sorry for a music video that we'd done back in 2015. And within these videos and stuff, in these articles that I've been seeing, there's a few things that don't really sit with me well. So what I'm gonna do is, I am gonna point those things out and we're gonna talk about them. Now, before we get started, I am friends.
Just two things really quick. It made me laugh. Whenever you see someone, especially a guy, and they're doing this before they get ready to speak, it's like we're about to get into it, and it may go south a little bit. So when he opens up with the palms rubbing, that's awesome, and the laugh at the beginning, kind of like a maniacal, like, yeah, I'm gonna apologize. Not.
And I like, if you notice, he's got two American flags.
Where's the Confederate flag?
So and we've learned, Cedric, if you read our comments, it's not the Confederate flag anyway. It's the rebel flag.
My bad. Rebel flag.
With quite a few country singers. And a lot of them have to stay silent. They can't speak their mind because they're within these little cliques and stuck in these cliques, which is fine. I understand if you want to stay silent, but I don't. Since my name was brought up in topic of discussion when all these things hit the internet, I feel like I can kind of say whatever the hell I want. So here we go. First things first. None of this was problematic until there was a problem.
Damn.
I've been preaching unity since day one.
Unity.
And I'm a guy who has the Confederate flag tattooed on me for life. There didn't have to be a video of another country singer saying the N-word for me to preach unity between blacks and whites. If you notice, in mainstream Nashville, there had to be a spike for them to even talk about unity or quote unquote them fixing themselves. You don't have to fix yourself. You can just be who you naturally are. If you're a good person, people are gonna know you're a good person. If you're a piece of shit human, people are gonna know you're a piece of shit human. It shows throughout the years of you being on the internet every day, day in, day out, your lives, people filming you out in public, whatever the case may be. That's what shows the character of a person. But I've noticed when the shit hits the fan with mainstream Nashville, whether these folks done anything or not, now they're all coming out saying sorry, begging for forgiveness. Please, no, not me. I'm not racist. I swear to God I'm not. Well, if you're not, then people will know.
I like that. We said in the beginning, he said it wasn't a problem until it became a problem.
Yeah.
It was simple, but yet it was so powerful, that statement.
Well, and the timing of this, folks. Remember the timing of this. This video that he did with Luke Combs was back in 2015. Nobody cared that they had the rebel/Confederate flag on Luke Combs' guitar or that he has it near his microphone. But then after the Summer of Love, guess what? Everybody has to apologize for everything.
It became a
and
problem.
Everybody's a racist, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you weren't a racist before. Of course, the Dukes of Hazzard, I didn't ever hear anybody saying that they were racist, but in 2020 now, everybody's racist.
Just a pair of good old boys.
Yeah.
Never meaning no harm. Beats all you ever saw, ain't it? Trouble with the law.
But it looks very suspect
Since the day they was born.
when one country singer does something that he shouldn't have done, and then all y'all come out saying sorry for absolutely nothing. You didn't do anything. So why are you saying sorry? Which brings me to my next point. Country music, attitude, outlaws, rebels, leaders, legends, lyrics. The legacy in which country music was built on for so many years is deteriorating because your favorite artists, the biggest ones in the game, are scared. They're outlaw country, but they're being told what to say. They're rebels, but their heart has no rebellious side whatsoever. They speak about true grit, but then they turn around and they're soft and do what they're told.
And that's not just country. So remember the like the punk music and the rock and roll of the day? Those were anti-establishment. Now they're pro-establishment.
Yep.
So there is no fighting back. That's why I think it was Johnny Rotten, or I think it was Johnny Rotten. You know, he came out pro-right because he's just so tired of the music industry being now within whatever the mainstream is instead of being rebels against it.
Yeah.
So,
And he talks about someone, that was one of our, before we heard about Ryan Upchurch, and I know that sounds sacrilegious to a lot of you, there was only like a month ago that we started doing Ryan Upchurch videos, so forgive us, we were late. But we jumped on the Morgan Wallen train the second that happened, when he said the N-word.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he got a lot of hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, and like he's saying right here, go ahead.
But remember what happened? Almost the exact same time that Morgan Wallen, then you had Bubba whatever, the NASCAR guy,
Yep.
who now the media was saying,
Wallace.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace, that there was a noose.
The news.
And then my favorite, because Cracker Barrel, where they have back in the South and the East, they said there was a bunch of nooses hanging from the Cracker Barrel. All this happened all again after the George Floyd thing.
Yep.
Everything was racist all of a sudden.
Yep. And I love he said that about Morgan Wallen, and what he's saying right here about country music represents something. It's like the rebels stop being rebellious. The people who are badasses stop being badasses. And no one ever made, and I grew up listening to rap, for those of you who are new to Cedric and Brian, no one ever asked Ice Cube and Eazy-E to apologize for the name of their band, NWA.
Right.
If you don't know what that means, look it up. I can't say it.
Now look, I'm not saying, oh, well, country music was built on racism, so we got to keep it. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is these people are starting to look like pushovers and look like little action figures that the record label just plays with all day. Oh, they all get read the same pamphlet. Well, you seen what Morgan did. Okay, guys, so here's all your pamphlets. Get on the internet and say all this stuff for the camera and for what? why don't you just get on your phone? You are a country singer, you are a millionaire, you are whatever you think you are, but you're never too good to grab your cell phone and just get on here and speak from the heart. I mean, the biggest country songs in history were made from speaking from the heart, which is what you should be doing. And I think with the actions that some of these country singers have been taking, you're kind of just shitting on country music.
So one of them that he doesn't mention there, but there was a group and it's been around for over a decade, Lady Antebellum.
Yes.
And they changed their name during the Summer of Love to Lady A.
Yep. And let's not forget the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah.
They're no longer Dixie. They're just now the Chicks.
And, you know...
Which is pretty insulting to call a bunch of girls chicks, but they took the Dixie out.
You're not having any country music attributes. You have more CNN attributes than anything. Country music is about connecting with the person that lives in the country and lives that lifestyle. And it seems lately in the news and in the media, they're just trying to rake in everybody. Everybody. Everybody's not gonna like you. Why are you trying to make everyone like you? When you're trying to make absolutely everybody like you, even people who don't listen to country music, you are losing true country music fans. It's not because you don't carry around the Confederate flag. It's not because you say the South will rise again. It's because you're being a sissy about the shit. Being a Music City native, born and raised in the 615, Nashville, Tennessee, my whole entire life, never did I think country music would be the one on its knees begging for forgiveness for something that it didn't even do. Growing up in Music City and being raised in this environment, not once did the Confederate flag to us mean that we hated black people. It meant rebellion. It meant prideful from being from the South. Dude, I've had plenty of black buddies who wore Dixie Outfitter shirts. I know you country folks out there remember the Dixie Outfitter shirts with the big pit bull on the back, with the truck on the front, with the roosters fighting each other on the back. It's a culture, man. So to me, that's exactly what the Confederate flag means. And not only that, it's nostalgic because it was being talked about in some of the biggest country songs when I was in high school. Take, for example, Red Atkins, Kiss My Country Ass. Tearing down a dirt road, rebel flag flying, coon dog in the back. Truck bed loaded down with beer and a cold one in my lap. Earnhardt sticker behind my head and my woman by my side. Tailpipes popping, the radios rocking, country boy can't survive. And if you got a problem with that, you can kiss my country ass. Yes. I mean, that's nostalgic, man. That's my childhood. Yes. It doesn't mean that I hated black people. My black buddies were in the truck riding around with me while we was jamming the shit. My Confederate flag tattoo is one of the things that I have taken the most heat for over the years. Do I have the money to cover it up? Yeah, but I'm not gonna. My entire arms are covered with the South, dude. My knuckles say Southern. Fishing hook, rooster foot, Lord, when I die, I want to live on the outskirts of heaven. Lightning bugs, honeysuckles, browning cymbal, shotgun shell, mallard, a fucking mallard. My dog that died a while back, Yella. I got diamond plate on my arm that says 1991. I got an American flag. I got Tennessee. I mean, I got a gamecock rooster. I'm not telling you sorry for using my environment where I was brought up as a warm blanket to love myself in. You're not gonna make me say sorry because I'm not sorry. Right. One of the biggest legends in the game used it as symbolism. Charlie Daniels. Listen, dude, you're not shitting on Charlie Daniels as long as I'm breathing. This is a quote from Charlie Daniels. This is what he had to say one time about the Confederate flag. He said, "The Confederate battle flag was a sign of defiance, a sign of pride, a declaration of geographical area that you were born and proud to be from. That's all it is to me and all it ever has been to me. I can't speak for all, but I know in my heart that most Southerners feel the same way." And you know, I think it's pretty ironic and funny that I'm one of the only ones that's making country music right now that was actually born in Music City, in Nashville, Tennessee. Yet, I'm the one that they try to throw under the bus. I'm the one they shut out of their groups. But I'm over here having traditional country attributes about myself, and I do fucking rap music. That's hilarious, right? I think it is.
If you guys saw our last review, that caught me off guard. Because I remember I paused it, and I looked at Brian, and I said, this is rap.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is he doing? It's the white guy from Tennessee, and he's singing rap. This is about that word again. If you guys didn't hear, about a week and a half ago, what was the kid from Florida, Marcus Stokes? He was a Florida high school quarterback, and because he said the N-word in a rap song, the University of Florida revoked his scholarship for next year.
Really?
Yeah. It just happened like a week and a half ago, and he had to go on and he had to apologize.
And he was just singing.
He was just
somebody else's lyrics.
He was singing someone else's lyrics, and the University of Florida said, you know what? Now you got to go on Twitter. Now you got to go on social media, and now you have to apologize. I can't see Ryan Upchurch apologizing for that. He's like, yeah, I said it. I sang it. No, not a big deal. And it depends on what race you are. What's that band? Wild Cherry. You guys know the song. Sing it with me if you know it. Dancing and singing and moving to the grooving. And just when it hit me, somebody turned around and shouted, "Play that funky music." White boy. Why is it okay to say that?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's a compliment.
No, because it was done before 2020. That's why.
Geez, the same thing.
But I mean, lots of stuff that all of a sudden our vocabulary had to change and people apologized. Again, and we did, if you go back, we did the whole Morgan Wallen thing, and it was the same thing. Joe Rogan had to do to an apology tour because he talked about it referencing somebody else talking about it, and yet they wanted to cancel him.
Crazy.
And that's what we talk about, because some of you on there, especially if you go back to our Jordan Lucas, right? Jordan Lucas, is that his name? Jordan Lucas?
Yeah, Joyner Lucas.
Joyner Lucas.
Yeah.
Some people comment and says, no, you can never say that word. He can say that word, so it's the only word in the English language that only a subset of people can utter that phrase. Everybody else will be, chastised about it.
If I can say it,
he can say honky, which is fine. He can say, well, you don't want to say the K word to me, but
no.
But people don't get canceled for that.
No,
but it's funny. There's no songs with the K word in it. Let's put it in perspective.
Right.
A lot of the rap that he listened to growing up with the name of the band used the N word in it. So remember, these people don't make millions of dollars by just black audiences. They have a huge white audience. So if you're singing these lyrics and don't want your fans to even sing them, it seems kind of ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
I know we're getting kind of off subject, but it's the same thing. I mean, we watched Dukes of Hazzards growing up with the rebel flag on top of the car, and it was the mainstay of, and nobody apologized for it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, after 2020, everybody has to apologize for everything.
I hear you. Keep playing this Ryan Upchurch video, white boy.
When did country music get to a point to where the Dixie Chicks had to change their name and take Dixie out, and now they're just the Chicks? What are you gonna do about the song Dixieland Delight? You just gonna call it Land Delight? That sounds pretty fucking dumb. So now, without any further ado, let's get into some of these clips that are being shared.
There's old sing-alongs with Dixie in it.
Yep.
Right now, where they're dragging my name into them.
Luke Combs hopes you'll forgive him for associating himself with a symbol he says he now recognizes is hurtful. Do you see it? Okay, zoom in some and... yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Biscuits and porn.
Y'all really think he come out and said this by himself? You don't think his record label daddy told him to do this? No, you have to. You have to. Morgan Wallen just did that thing, so you have to. You think he waited 6 years of not saying nothing, not preaching nothing about unity, but now he does, and you don't think somebody told him to? Okay.
During a conversation at Country Radio Seminar, Combs and Maren Morris talked about accountability and country music's reckoning with racism.
Isn't Maren Morris the one that came after Jason Aldean's wife too?
I think so.
I think was it Jason Aldean? No, it was. Yeah, I think it was Jason Aldean's, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So she's on the woke train too, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That this happened.
But Upchurch said it perfectly. He said this wasn't Luke Combs' idea, it was his handlers. His what do you call his daddy?
Who's the girl at the top? Is that one who Biden put
I
in
don't know.
charge, that colonel, it's a he, she.
No, no.
Racism?
Who is Marilyn
close.
Morris? Who is that?
The Better Together singer says there's no excuses for images like this, and he wants to apologize for being associated with that. The images in question are actually part of a music video that has over 75 million views on YouTube and 331,000 likes as of mid-February 2021.
I want to ask any of our black viewers out there, does that trigger you? Seeing the rebel flag, would you liken that to me seeing the Nazi flag? Is that the same thing? I want to know honestly, and I want to hear, not from the white listeners. I want to hear any.
Ooh. Segregating.
I'm segregating. I just want to know, because Cedric, he comes out all the time. He says it doesn't bother him. So I want to know from you guys.
Well, if you listen to our last video, we did the review. I talked about symbols and how one symbol, that Confederate flag, can mean something to one group of people, but it can mean something completely different to another group of people. So depending on who you ask and where they're coming from and their upbringing, it's going to have a different meaning. But for me, it doesn't mean anything, because like Ryan Upchurch is doing so eloquently, it talks about their culture, their pride, and
Right.
where they grew up. And I know that's all it means to him.
Right.
And why would he have a bunch of black guys produce his last video
Yeah, I know.
if he was racist?
I know.
Yeah, you see the like to dislike ratio? That's all. Did you see it? You did? Yep. Yeah. That's the like to dislike ratio. Crazy, right?
It may be one Combs wishes he could remove himself from, however, and actually, there are some who say that his record label has tried to do just that.
Yep, that is a true statement. But here's the good thing. See, record labels don't tell me what to do. I tell record labels what to do. That's what I've built for myself in country music.
The panel was supposed to be about new artists who've risen to the top, but after Morgan Wallen was seen saying the N-word on camera, Combs reached out to Morris and CRS and asked to talk about accountability, agreeing to address things from his past, specifically this. I am now aware how painful that image can be to someone else, and no matter what I thought at the time, I would never want to be associated with something that brings so much hurt to someone else. I want people to feel accepted. I want people to feel welcomed by country music and by our community. Hate is not a part of my core values.
So in his apology, which you can tell, all the apologies have the same wording, so you know they're all written by the same people.
Right.
When he said hate is not a part of my core values, who says that has anything to do with hate?
Right. Right. Yeah.
They put words in people's mouth. I mean, obviously, he's the same person who had that on his guitar that he is now.
Yeah.
But it's just
But the fact
silly.
that you have to say that, it makes you raise an eyebrow when you have to say that. Like I used to always tell my daughters, if you have to tell someone you're a lady, chances are you probably aren't. People can see who you are. They can tell by your actions. They can tell by your values and what you. They knew that he wasn't racist, but because the woke crowd attacked him, he had to come out and actually say it. Hey, hate is not a part of my core values.
And you know what's
Who
funny?
talks like that anyway?
Let's say I said I hate Cedric, okay? And he could just say, well, whatever, dude, I don't care. That doesn't bother the person that you're addressing it to. That says something about the person who is the hater. People who have hate in their hearts, they're the ones who have to suffer that kind of life their whole time. So this whole virtual signaling that's been going on for the last 2 years, why do people care? If somebody calls me, like when I grew up, somebody called me certain names, it's like, that's on them. You let it roll off your back, you know? It's like, I don't understand why we're so focused on trying to protect everybody. And again, I'd like to know if it's more just the white liberal woke crowd that cares about this, or if there is a whole bunch of black people out there that are offended by this. I have a feeling that it's not, kind of like the videos we saw before.
Yeah.
When Biden and them said, you know, voting is racist because black people can't get an ID.
Right.
That's what's racist, saying that. And then they go out and talk to a bunch of black people and are like, no, I know where the DMV is. It's right there. I know how to get a license. I got a license right here. It's all of these left-wing virtue signaling morons that care about this stuff. And that's why I said I want to know if people really do care about that flag being out there, because it didn't seem in the 70s and 80s that it was.
Although I don't subscribe to everything that this gentleman says, Malcolm X, but like they say, a broke clock is right twice a day. He said, beware the white liberal.
That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere.
So I think it got put out there enough that it says, hey, you know what? These people they're racist. And then the black community said, yeah, you know what? They are racist. Let's run with that.
I think this whole thing is part of that same plot to separate people. So they made a huge thing about racism in 2020, and they've continued it on now till today, because that's a good way to divide people. We did a thing with Morgan Freeman. You know how you stop racism? Stop talking about it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Instead, they're hyper-focused on it, just they create this division.
Right. This is a 14-minute video.
I know, sorry.
Well, I don't have hate in my core values either. And I think everyone who has watched me or come across me over the years, the majority of them know that. Otherwise, my like to dislike ratio would not be what it is. I wouldn't still be growing 6 years later. It's been a steady incline since I started. And you're not gonna get those kind of numbers if you have hate in your heart. But here's another thing that irks me that I haven't seen anybody talk about. Why, when I see this kind of stuff and I see what people are saying, why is it like y'all are trying to make it out like black people are weak or something? They're not.
That's my point.
I thought you were going to hit me there for a second.
It's like they're so afraid. They think that black people are a bunch of P words that they can't handle a symbol, a flag being up.
Yeah, I ain't no punk.
That you have to protect them.
Right.
Cedric, I'll protect you from the flag. It's insulting. Right. Like most of this stuff, it's insulting.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is insulting because they're saying that we have to take care of the black community and other people of color, other minorities, because they can't take care of themselves. Yeah. Nothing can be more insulting.
And it's like the whole affirmative action thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's like, it's okay, Cedric, we'll lower the standards. I mean, that's the racist, insulting stuff.
Right.
You're trying to make it out like we have to baby them and stuff. We don't. Why are y'all talking and treating black people like they're totally different from us? You're treating it like, we gotta do this for the black people. The black people are probably like, yo, what the fuck? Why? Don't throw us in here. We're not fucking weak. We're not sitting here asking y'all to do this and come out and give these apologies. Why the fuck you think we're so weak as black people? That's how I take it. And the media is doing this to y'all, and y'all are falling for it. It's funny. What the fuck? What are you? How am I supposed to look at it? Look at the stuff y'all say. It's pretty much like, you're like, oh, look, there's a black guy. Everyone tiptoe around the black guy. Hi, black guy. You're so great, black guy. Oh, I'm so sorry about...
That has a very Peter Griffin Family Guy vibe to it a little bit.
About this piece of cloth, black guy. I just want to let you know that I really love black people. Dude, if you ask me, I think black people that are watching this shit probably think y'all are crazy. Like, why they think we give a fuck?
Is that what you think?
That's a waste of time.
Much. To be honest. And you want to know one fact that I think's hilarious about this whole thing? He come out and said sorry for the Outlaw music video and yada, yada, yada. I'm sorry, I'm going to be a better person. I swear I'll never catch rebellionitis ever again. I'm so sick. Did you know that the film crew for that music video was all black people? Some gangster ass black people that I was friends with. They were the people who shot the video. Crazy. Well, that's all I gotta say about this. I can promise you I'll never say sorry for something that I don't have to say sorry for. I don't have to say sorry for symbolism I grew up around. I didn't do nothing to anybody. I don't have to make an apology video. I'll never say anything to the point to where I do have to make an apology video, because that's not who I am as a person. So if I'm the last one left out here saying what needs to be said and standing up for myself and speaking from my heart, then I'll be the last motherfucker left. It don't bother me none. See y'all later, baby. Keep it country.
The Upchurch video is where the Confederate imagery comes from.
Don't bother me none. And Ryan Upchurch, instead of saying, I want one day to say, kiss my black ass. I want to hear him say it. Kiss my black ass.
He makes a good point, though, because there's so much offensive music out there that is rebellious, and people are okay with it.
Yes.
But then, like you said, you have to tiptoe around certain things now.
We've talked about WAP 100 times. Everybody's okay with that.
Yeah.
But you can't put that out there. This was good for the, and I lost count for the hundreds of you who recommended, like Cedric and Brian, you got to look at Ryan Upchurch's apology video. You'll understand everything after you watch that. Thank you for suggesting this. He hit the nail right on the head. He said, I'm not apologizing.
Yep.
Love it.
I'm glad you recommended this, because a lot of the stuff, and I'm sorry that I said stuff and then he said it right after. I was just saying how I felt, and it just kind of, it was similar. So thanks for pointing that out to me.
You and Upchurch.
But I am the, but I am the racist according to all you people out there, right?
He's been racist to me for the last 22 years of our friendship.
And yet he still remains my friend.
I just come back for the punishment.
I guess, man.
I don't have any self-esteem. That's why.
Yeah, that must be. Yeah, that, we know. We know you don't have any self-esteem, Cedric.
All right, you guys. We really appreciate that that recommendation. And the others that are coming, we're gonna try and get to them all. But this catalog is huge, so be patient with us. We'll get through it.
And we have to get through this virtue signaling, walking on eggshells. We can't unite if we're walking on eggshells. And it's not even a race thing. I know maybe you guys have family members or friends that you always feel like you have to walk on eggshells around for whatever reason. It's hard to maintain a friendship because it's exhausting. Yeah. So we have to stop it. If people get offended, then they get offended. And if it's a one-on-one thing and they ask for apology, then you apologize one-on-one if you feel you did something wrong. But to do these blanket apologies for something stupid, it's ridiculous, and we've got to stop doing it. And people like Luke Combs, they have to take a stand at some point. I understand, it's all about the money, but at some point, people have to just stand up like George Jefferson would have done back in the day, right?
Right. Archie Bunker and all that. Yes. All right, you guys, we appreciate you watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell, and continue sharing our channel with everyone you know.
You didn't point out that I was wearing all my Tennessee
Oh, you got your
stuff.
Tennessee
Got my Tennessee hat and my...
Good job. Good job. You got Jack Daniels there?
Yeah.
Nice. Well done. Getting ready for Tennessee.
Yeah. I'm going to be there in February. You going with us?
Yeah, I'll be there eventually, one day. My girlfriend, ladies, and you can respect this, the lady I've been dating said, I will go to Tennessee, but I am not going as a girlfriend. It's like she threw the gauntlet down.
It's in the ring on there.
Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Putting all my business out there. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, continue sharing our channel with everyone you know. And like Ryan Upchurch just said, keep it country. Until next time, I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian. We'll see you later.
Country. Kiss my black ass. That was a good apology, not apology.